One of the cool perks of working from home is that you don't have to get up and go somewhere. It is 5:40 p.m. on Monday afternoon, and I am just now leaving the house, going against traffic to go climbing and go have fun. Working from home rules. You're like,
that
you're laying back the entire time. Like, the jumps are super nice, so it's so kind of scary when you're on your back. Thought for the day: learn how to learn. I had an intern once, and I gave him a task to do. And 3 weeks later, I went and asked him for an update on this task, and he looks at me and goes, "Well, I don't know how to do that." And I go, "Bro, you see that thing you're holding in your hand? It's called a phone. And on that phone, you have this app called Google. Or you can go into a web browser and open up a Google browser or a YouTube browser and type in, 'How do I do this thing?'" When I was in high school, if I wanted to learn anything, I literally had to physically go to a library to go learn about that thing. And the search tools were really not that sophisticated. We had these things called card catalogs. They were literally like 3x5 cards, and they had the name of a book, where it was on the shelf, and all those things. But it was really hard to ask the question, "Hey, what does this mean?" Or "When did this happen?" Or "What? Or how does this work?" That wasn't something that was available to us. We literally had to thumb through pages, and it took forever to find answers. But in this day and age, information is so easy to come by. I have this joke, and it's halfway serious actually. I tell people, the coaches that I mentor, I say, "Dude, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer to that question, and I have to take 30 seconds to 60 seconds to ask Google what the answer is to that question, you're dead to me." Because honestly, whose time have we wasted? Especially if it takes me 6 to 8 hours to respond to you, that is 6 to 8 hours that you could have been learning. You could have typed that same exact question into the Google machine, and most likely it would have given you an answer. And if you're looking for maybe 3 to 5 minutes and still couldn't find the answer, then by all means, send me the question and I will help you find the answer to that question. But most things you can learn on Google and YouTube. I literally learned how to change my transmission fluid on Google. I learned how to change a window motor on Google. I learned how to do all kinds of things asking Google and YouTube. There's so much information in the world at your disposal, guys. And here's another thing too. As far as learning goes, don't be afraid to fail. Failing is probably the best thing to ever happen to you, because if you don't fail, you don't learn. So, part of learning is, number one, go and steal the information. It is out there. It's free, so it's not really stealing actually, but I like to explain it this way. Is it better for me to hand you a fish when you ask me for a fish, or is it more useful for me to teach you how to fish so you can continue to fish on your own and be independent? I love answering questions, I really do, but sometimes it's a waste of everyone's time if you're asking me questions that you could go find the answer to within 30 to 60 seconds by asking Google or YouTube. I want to talk about the really hard stuff, the really, really deep, interesting stuff. I mean, I don't mind answering the simple questions, but go do the legwork first, guys. I say this with a smile on my face and my eyebrows up. I'm not trying to be a jerk. If I were to stop and answer every single question that came my way, I would get nothing done. But man, what really stimulates me is when people ask me the hard questions, the stuff that's like, ooh, I don't know what that is. And that's going to take me a little longer to research. That's the stuff that really excites me. So, moral of today's story, learn how to learn. Learning's awesome. It's fun. And it gets your brain all stimulated. So, yeah, that's the thought for the day. That is the thought for the day. I need to learn how to speak English. And I will work on that. I might even ask YouTube and Google how to talk English good and more better. So, yes, that's the thought for the day. Learn how to learn. And don't be afraid to fail. Because failing is how you learn. I'll see you guys next time.